Hey everybody, it's the show here again with bearthuhura here. bearthuhura, I am a full spectrum plant eating holistic doula and an advocate for all things safe, natural, and effective. Here on this channel, we discuss all things pregnancy, birth, and womb health related. So if you like the content, you like what you hear, please be sure to subscribe. So today's topic is going to be about like some of the myths of breastfeeding when it involves lactation. So I have many women um, coming to me about like not producing enough milk and not having enough milk to store for going back to work, or if they just want to be able to have some alone time and leave the house. And just like, oh, like all of the I'm not producing enough milk, I can't feed my baby enough. They told me that my baby was small in weight, all of these different things. So here is what I want to address. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, drink Gatorade or drink Armor Up. I think that's what it's called, but some kind of like body drink or like fitness athletic drink. Um, Eat a lactation cookie. Drink this tea or this herb or all of these different things. And for me, I really just want to come on here and say, no, I am not a lactation consultant, um, meaning I have not done the courses and I have not been certified as a lactation consultant. But being a breastfeeding advocate for 10 years, having breastfed all of my children for 2 years plus, I think that I have enough knowledge and I've studied enough and I've researched enough and I've mentored under lactation consultants and I've mentored under amazing doulas and I've mentored under people who, really specialize in breast milk. And I've also been a breastfeeding researcher. So all of this stuff gives me a little bit of, I guess, background to be able to discuss this topic. So I know there's a lot of gatekeeping when it comes to like different areas of birth work where we have midwives and doulas not, intersecting, and then you have lactation consultants wanting doulas not to act as lactation consultants and vice versa. So I understand why that is, because a lot of misinformation, because a lot of people saying that, um, someone told me to do this, or my doula told me to do that, or this person, my sister, my cousin, all of these different things. So what I want to say first and foremost is that if you are having issues with your breast milk, and if you are having issues with creating or producing breast milk, please consult before you, if you have your baby at the hospital, before you leave the hospital, ask. They should have a lactation consultant on site before you leave. Ask to speak with them, ask to, do an interview with them if they're not there at the time. I know there's been a pandemic, that asks them to reach out to you, call you, but please do not leave the hospital after you had a baby, especially for the first time, without making sure you have created a strong breastfeeding bond and a good latch with your baby. But so I'm really just here to talk about all of the remedies for creating more milk. All of those things are myths. None of those things can create you more milk. You literally have to move the milk. Like, you have to put the baby at the breast, skin to skin, and have them suckle on the boob. Areola, all of the nipple and most of the areola should, depending on how big your areola is. I've seen, and I'm not judging. I love all breasts. Breasts are great. Breasts are amazing. Women are amazing, right? But all bodies matter. So I'm not saying like it's a problem, but depending on how big your areola is. But normally, you want to have most of the areola and all of the nipple in the mouth. Not pointing down, not pointing up but at an angle so that the nipple and the milk is pouring straight down into the throat. So anyway, that wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video is saying that you have to move the milk. You cannot um, make milk if your brain is not saying I need to make milk. It doesn't just, like, you don't just have a baby and your body just boom. There's a ton of milk available. Like you have to feed your baby. You have to continuously feed your baby. That's why cluster feeding is important, because as your baby grows, they need more calories, more milk, and so they cluster feed um to get, gain the proper weight, get the proper nutrition. They're growing, so you need to produce more milk, so they're cluster feeding so that your body can create more milk. Um, in the smaller amounts of time. So we don't never want to be like, oh, I ate this cookie and I did this and I drank that and I did this and I did that. 9 times out of 10, all of that processed lactation cookie, um, all of these different drinks that have high levels of sugar, or even if it says zero sugar, you're getting artificial sugar, because if it's sweet, there is something in there that is, so all of those things actually can hinder. Fenugreek is another thing. A lot of people are like, oh, take fenugreek, no, fenugreek, one, can tax the kidneys, meaning it can be harmful to the kidneys over long use. It can actually be counterproductive to actually producing milk, because of some of the hormones that it allow, your body releases, taking that herb or that spice or whatever you want to call it. But that is not for you to use for breast milk. Now, fennel could be used to enhance your breast milk, not create lactation. Let's be clear, not create more milk, not produce more, but it could be a great addition. Fennel, not fenugreek, fennel. It could be a great addition to you, helping your baby's digestive system um, mature and be, high working, like super efficient. So I think, and for our gut too, fennel is great for our guts. Fennel is great for the baby's gut, and the baby will get those properties through drinking the milk, right? So it's really important to just understand that no amount of anything that you take. Sometimes people are like, well, I drank this and I started producing more milk. Well, honey, it was probably because you were dehydrated. So whatever liquid you put in your body, it just gave you hydration. But there are people in different parts of the world who are malnourished. They don't even have, like, in third world countries and things like that. Not all third world countries. Some people are thriving. We don't know. We haven't been there. I know I haven't been there. I can't speak on behalf of those people. But I do know that there are some people all over the world feeding their babies even with malnutrition, because your body will produce what it needs, because your milk is produced from the blood or from the liquid that's in your body. So the best thing you can do, um, to make sure you have a great bond with the baby, a good latch, and a functioning, um, you know, system, is to feed the baby on demand, hydrate. Things like warm tea is not going to produce more milk, but it will help your milk. It will help stimulate letdowns. It will help stimulate circulation. So that's how you can support your breastfeeding journey. But it's really nothing you can eat, or no herbs. Now herbs will enhance. Again, it will enhance the quality of the milk. It will give certain herbs. Please do not just go and just start drinking herbs or thinking that any herb is safe for breast milk, because it's not. And I know a lot of people know this, but some people don't. And so even things that are really, really healthy for us, like thyme, you don't really want to use too much thyme, THYME, the herb thyme, when you are breastfeeding. But it is a very good herb for the body, and it's helpful for the immune system. And so there's herbs and things that we eat on a regular basis that we might add to our foods and stuff like that, but we don't want to get into the habit of like drinking it as a tea too often or things like that if it is not breastfeeding safe or nursing safe. So it's definitely, like I said, skin to skin, hydration. Certain herbs will increase the quality of the milk, but not the quantity of the milk. You have to move the milk to make the milk. You need skin to skin. The baby needs Their skin needs to be on your skin. A lot of people are swaddling their children early on, are putting them, wrapping them up, and then putting them inside their shirts. But you need your baby on your skin. It is communication. Microbes are communicating with the baby, and the baby's saliva is communicating with uh, your brain, and it's helping you create that great breastfeeding bond. And so that's really what you have to do. And then I hear situations like, oh well, I can't breastfeed, or I couldn't breastfeed because this is that or there. Now there's a small number of people who I know this to be true because of certain defects or because of certain health conditions. But remember, I am also a nutritionist. Remember, I am also holistic, and I'm in that herbal field and all of those different things. So I, in my most positive, caring, loving opinion, know and believe that sickness can be healed. Disease can be healed. Um, so whatever it is that you may be dealing with, and the medication that you may be on that is prohibiting you from breastfeeding, I know that can also be addressed. So I do know now there's different situations where you have people who have had breast reductions, breast surgery, cosmetic surgery that may or may not be able to breastfeed. But there is a very small pocket of people who literally have been born and then just don't have um, milk ducts. Like that's almost like unheard of. You know what I mean? So there is always a way for you to feed your baby if that's what you want to do. But this video, again, let me get back to, was just kind of trying to debunk the idea of take this tincture, eat this cookie, drink this drink, get Gatorade, get Pedialyte. Like, I've heard so many crazy stories about people eating and drinking and taking different things, and I'm like, your baby has to drink that milk, and you are basically putting, oh, but that's another thing too, where people say like, oh, it doesn't matter what you eat or what you drink, your baby will only get the nutritional part of it. That is not correct. That's why certain medications, certain birth controls, certain things cannot be taken. Certain opioids cannot be taken while you are breastfeeding. You can't even take certain herbs. You can't even eat certain herbs because those herbs can harm the baby. So no one can tell me that what I'm eating on a daily basis is not going to impact my baby. A lot of people, a lot of children are dealing with dry skin, eczema, psoriasis, um, gas, uncontrollable acid reflux. Like all of these different things is because what you are eating is impacting your baby. So it is important to eat properly. It is important to make sure you nourish yourself. It is important to love yourself, love your, you know, your body, and love your baby, because I know there's certain barriers and certain things that people go through and people have that, you know, it stands in the way of a lot of these things. But I'm speaking to the people who will literally say, you know, I can eat cheeseburgers and steaks and fries and pizzas all day, every day, and my baby is just going to be fine as long as I breastfeed them. That is incorrect. But that was pretty much my take on trying to help people understand how lactation works and how you can create more milk. And even like, I know people are concerned, like, oh, like I want to be able to feed my baby and then pump enough to store so that I want to go back to work. And unfortunately, where we live at in the society, it does not provide us with a proper medical leave or maternal leave, to where so we can really establish a lasting and beautiful breastfeeding relationship and a bond in general with our children. And so it is really difficult, and I've been there. I've been one of those women who had to go back to work in 3 months or 4 months or whatever the case may be. And it is very difficult to produce that much milk. Some people can do it. Some people just flow. But if your baby is not drinking that much, your body will regulate to the amount of milk that your baby is drinking. So it is difficult to pump, feed the baby, and care for yourself all at the same time. It gets very stressful. It gets very hard. It gets very difficult. So for me personally, there was times where I would wake up early in the morning before work, and I'm not telling anybody else to do this, but just for me, I just really cared that much about my baby's what my baby was eating, that I would wake up early in the morning, feed my baby for 2 hours, get up, get dressed, get ready for work. My husband would drive to work with me while I still gave baby the boob. I would go to work, and then sometimes even on my break, I would have him bring my baby to work. And so on my lunch break, I would just eat a little quick, I'll sit in the car with the baby and feed the baby if I didn't have enough milk at home, and just eat my food and feed my baby. And then when I got home, I put the baby right on the breast. So yes, it was very hard. It was very difficult. It was a whole lot. But I did what I felt I had to do to ensure the immune system and then nutritional um, lifestyle I wanted to provide for my child. But again, I wouldn't recommend that. But I do feel like if that's where you want to go, and if that's how you want to, if it's that important to you, then yes, it's just something that I just did. And sometimes I just feel like it's sad because we should be able to stay home with our babies for at least a year. Like it doesn't make any sense that we should be running back to work. It makes it so difficult for us to maintain what the baby needs versus what you can actually provide, with society being so fast paced and quick as it is. But I understand. I feel for us because I've been there, and so I know it can get difficult. I know it can get stressful. I know it can add to postpartum depression. I've seen so many women really feeling like a failure and things like that. But if you stay consistent and you continue those practices, move the milk, and even nighttime feedings are really great for getting that good lactation. What I found was like the sleep feeds and the overnight feeds, like co-sleeping with baby and allowing the baby to suckle halfway through the night, was really for me and my body was really great at increasing my milk supply. But yeah, that's pretty much my take on it and what I can give. But definitely consult with a specialist, and be patient and kind with yourself. Give yourself grace because you deserve it. You're doing a magnificent thing. And a lot of times I'll say, oh, your baby lost a little bit of weight. That is normal. Babies fluctuate in weight. If they are not like, more than 8% under their, the weight they're supposed to be at, it's okay. Babies can gain and lose weight really quickly. And some babies are just genetically small. Like every baby is not going to be chunky. Like we're basing these percentages or these percentiles on formula fed babies, and that's not how it is. So I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope this was useful for you. I hope you were able to gain something from this. If you have any additional questions, any extra questions, please drop it in the comments. I'm always willing to interact with you, ladies and guys, and whoever wants to, have just conversation about how to, create community and create better outcomes and results and things like that. So again, my name is Michelle. I'm a full spectrum holistic doula with bearthuhura. Please reach out to us at bearthuhura, BEARTH.uhura, UHURA at gmail.com. If you have any additional questions, if you want to book a service or whatever the case may be, please be sure to subscribe, like, share, and I will see you guys for the next video. Thank you. Peace and pregnancy dust.